So you're thinking about raising pastured poultry, or you're already raising pastured poultry, but you don't know how much it's going to cost or how much you're going to make from the birds that you're raising. Well, we're going to fix that problem for you. In this video, I'm going to share my pastured poultry analysis calculator. It's basically a calculator that you plug in some variables, and by plugging all these in, it will give you a good ballpark estimate of what you're going to make, how much it's going to cost. It'll do it all. This is something that I've refined over a number of years to have a better sense of, when we raise pastured poultry on the farm, how much I can expect to spend and how much I can expect to earn. One of the things about raising pastured poultry, or any animal for that matter, is that it's a lot of upfront cost. You have to pay for the animal, you have to pay for the feed, you have to raise them out to a weight that's worth processing, and all of this is upfront before you even see a dime. This calculator is going to help you figure out how much it's going to cost, how much you're going to make, and let's get into it. So this is our Cornish Cross broiler calculator. Now this is set up for Cornish Cross. Again, you can change it, tweak it if you need to for Freedom Rangers, whatever kind of bird you're raising. But this one is set up for Cornish Cross that grow at about 8 weeks. So first things first, when you're looking at the spreadsheet, the main thing is top right corner, click File, make a copy. Do this because this version that you're going to see initially is read-only, meaning you can only read it, you can't edit it. So if you go up to File, just click File, make a copy, and that's going to give you the option, and then just click Make a Copy. And once you make that copy, then you can edit, you can do everything you want to that. So that will be yours. You can change the title, you can change the numbers, you can delete everything if you want. You can do whatever you want with it. The main thing with this is the yellow boxes. These are the things you want to fill in. Don't touch the white boxes. Those have formulas and calculations. The yellow boxes are made for you to input information that pertains to you. So first, yellow box, number of chicks ordered. Let's just say we're going to do 100. I do have a note there to expect a 10% death rate. That's kind of an average with these birds. If you want a real accurate number of your final numbers, then you may say we're doing 100, you may want to count on 90. But we're going to do 100 birds. Cost of a 50-pound bag of feed. That's your next column. We pay around $17.50. So we'll put that in. Miles per gallon of your transport vehicle. I have a Ford F350 that doesn't get great mileage, so it's about 14 miles per gallon. So we'll just put 14 there. Fuel cost per gallon. Now this is going to be at the time that you're getting the gas. This is for transporting your birds for processing at a plant. If you're not planning on processing at a plant, just leave these numbers blank because the mileage isn't going to apply to you. So fuel per gallon, I have a diesel vehicle. Let's just say $3.95 per gallon. That might be a little cheap, but round trip miles to the processor. My round trip is about 120 miles. So we'll put 120. Planned price for a whole bird. So whole bird packaged, what are you going to sell this for a pound? We sell ours for $5.45 a pound. We'll put $5.45 in there. Average carcass weight. Usually we shoot for around 4.5 pounds for pastured poultry. This last batch we did, we had some actually end up weighing out at 7 pounds, which is awesome because you're getting more poundage and you charge by the pound, so you make more money, but it's also kind of hard to sell a 7-pound bird. You're looking at almost $40 for a chicken. We shoot for about 4.5 pounds. I'm going to go ahead and put 5 because that tends to be our average. So 5-pound carcass weight is generally what we're going for here. And then estimated chore time. This is your daily chore time. So how long do you think it's going to take you every day to do chores? And obviously some days will be longer than others if you have to move netting, if you have to repair something. But on average, we spend about 25 minutes a day. And that's moving chicken tractors, filling feed, filling water, and just all the stuff that these birds require daily. And there you filled in your main boxes. And we'll hit enter on that. Now, it's starting to populate. As you can see, we've got some more boxes down here, but based on what we put in the initial part, it's starting to populate some of this stuff already. So now, broiler chicks. You'll see cost each. We paid for our last chicks about $1.93 each. And that was through Myers Poultry. They do a great job. Not sponsored by them or anything, but that's typically who we get our birds from every year, and we've always been very happy with them. It automatically fills in the 100, so you don't have to do anything there. Shipping, I can't remember what ours is, but I'm just going to say $10. Next is electricity. So electricity will be, for instance, your brooder. You'll be running heat lights or a heat source. And if you're using propane, you can just substitute that here. So I'm estimating around 15 bucks electricity for us to run the lights for a couple weeks for the birds. So feed cost, that's your next column. This is automatically calculated based on the numbers that you entered above. Based on $17.50 for a 50-pound bag, it cost us about 35 cents a pound. Now this is going to give you a feed cost for 100 birds. You can see 35 cents a pound, 100 birds, and that comes out to about $420. And that's based on an average of about $12 per bird. So from the time they're a chick to the time they're processed, you're going to spend around $12 per bird. And again, everybody's context will be a little different. It depends on your forage, the environment you're raising them in, but $12 is an average cost, and that gets you in a good ballpark figure of what you're going to need to spend in feed for the number of birds that you're raising. So in this instance, 100 birds is going to come out to about $420. Right, next, we've got our fuel cost. And again, we entered some of that above, but it comes out based on my vehicle being 14 miles per gallon and paying around $3.95 a gallon. I'm paying about 28 cents per mile. And again, 120 miles, that was automatically populated from up top from your round trip number. And that gives me $67.71 that I'm going to spend in gas. Now, this sounds like a lot. This is actually doubled because if you're taking your birds to the processor, then you're going to be dropping them off, but then you're likely going to have to go back and pick them up. So it accounts for 2 trips to the processor. If you're doing it in a one-shot type deal, then obviously you can just cut this number in half. All right, and then our processing cost. Now, each processor is different. Our processor charges $6.50 per bird. I'll put that in there for cost each. And for quantity, this doesn't auto-populate because you may be taking in 100 birds, but you may be keeping half of them whole, and then you may be parting them out, half of them. So let's just say, for instance, we used 100 birds here. Let's just say I'm going to keep 50 of them whole. So that's going to give me a cost of $325 in processing costs. Now, processing cut-ups. Our processor charges an extra $3 for cut-ups. So we'll put the 3 there, and let's just say we're going to do the other half of the birds. So we'll add 50 again. That gives a total of $475 for 50 birds in cut-ups. That's your breast, thighs, legs, feet, backs, all individually packaged. So now we've got our processing cost in. Grit, I don't typically use grit. We use a mash, and these birds don't seem to have any problem with it. They grow out great, so I'm just going to put 0 for that. But it's there in case you want to use it. Bedding, obviously when they're in the brooder, you're going to be using peat moss, you're going to be using wood chips, something for bedding. We tend to use wood chips. And we usually go through about 6 bags, about $5 a bag. So we'll put 5 for the price, and then for quantity, we'll put 6 bags. That comes out to about $30. And then labor, something you really need to factor in. And this is set up where up top, if you go back up, you put your estimated daily chore time. That was about 25 minutes per day. So that's going to be factored into here. I consider labor about $20 per hour. I don't think you're going to find anybody to work cheaper than that. Maybe you can, and if you do, great. I'd love to find 15, but these days, that's labor. You can expect to spend 20, and that's probably still on the cheap end, $20 to $25 an hour for labor. So we'll put $20 an hour. 56 is your quantity, and that's 56 days or 8 weeks, the time it takes from start to finish to get these birds ready for processing. And that comes out to about $466.67. Again, that's based on your average chore time. If your chore time changes, let's say for instance we do 30 minutes per day, that's going to change your labor to $560. How long it takes each day is going to affect your labor cost. And then lastly, I've got this miscellaneous column here. This is just something you can use if you need to add in something that I haven't included here. That's just an option. You don't have to use it. Just leave it blank if you're happy with what's here. And that's it. And if we look down, it gives us our total cost of $2,095.71. That's to raise out 100 birds. And our cost per bird is about $20.96. Our chore time is probably, I said 25, but it's probably more around 20 minutes a day. We move 4 chicken tractors, and the water in the buckets, everything goes pretty quick unless we're moving netting. And then you can change other factors here, and that'll tell you how much it's going to affect your cost for each bird. So this is coming out to about $19.09 per bird that it's going to cost you. Now, that number sounds a little high, and mainly because we're including labor. If you're doing this yourself, you may look at this as, well, okay, that's $373 that comes to me in addition to the profit that we'll get to at the bottom. Some people may be just paying themselves and doing it themselves. You can put 0 for labor, and that brings you to about $15.36 per bird. And that's about our average. Either way, you'll get the money for that because you're doing it. It's going to make your profit more, obviously. Even if you were to leave the $20 in there, then okay, well, you're paying yourself then $373 plus your profit at the bottom. So either way, it just accounts for labor. It's something that's not accounted for in a lot of calculations that really needs to be factored in. Mainly because when you do this labor with each operation, you can see places where maybe you're spending a lot of labor in one operation that's not making you a lot of money, where that labor could be transferred over to another operation that could then double, triple what you're. Always count labor in what you're doing, and even if you're doing it yourself, then just pay yourself. All right, so we've got our total costs around $1,900 to raise out 100 birds. That's feed, that's processing, everything. And our cost per bird is about $19. Now, our gross income from that, and that is based on, one, the planned price, $545 that we have planned for whole birds. And this also accounts for your parts and cut-ups. We typically do about a 50% markup on our cut-ups because you're making it easier for the customer. You've already cut it up, packaged, your boneless, skinless breasts, you've done all that work, so there's an upcharge for that. So this model factors in 50% higher than your price per pound of whatever cut-ups you're doing. And if you want to know a real easy way to get how much your markup is, set all your pricing. So you've got your whole bird at say $545, you got your boneless, skinless breast at $14.95, you've got your leg thighs, we charge $7.95, our wings are $5.95. I actually just plug all those into ChatGPT and ask it, what is my percentage markup from whole bird to cut-ups, and it'll break down all the formulas. And we came up with about 44% for ours as a markup. So I'm using 50 here. It's a conservative number, but I think it's a good number, and it'll get you in the ballpark so that you'll have an accurate representation of what you're going to bring in based on if you're doing whole birds or you're doing cut-ups. So our gross income, like I say, as we can see, $3,406. So that's how much we're going to make total. That's not counting what we've spent. After we have spent our labor, our processing cost, our cost for feed, fuel, our profit on 100 birds is $1,497, let's just say $1,500. And our profit per bird is about $14.97. So all in all, not bad. If you notice on this, you put in your numbers and you're noticing that your profit per bird is low, well, a couple things you can do. One, you may need to raise your prices. Throughout this video, I've kind of told you what our prices are. Your prices will depend on, one, your work that you put into it, and two, what your market will bear. Pastured poultry is a lot of work. You're moving nettings, you're moving chicken tractors, you're heavy bags of feed, heavy things of water, and it's a lot of work. Not only that, it is a premium product. This is something you won't find in the stores. Birds raised on pasture, actually eating bugs, eating grass, getting sunlight. And not only that, some of the big box stores, and I mentioned this in another video, one that sells chickens for $5 already cooked loses about $40-some million every year. They make these chickens at a loss. And that's because it's a loss leader where it gets people into the store and then they sell other products. So I can't compete with that. I'm not going to try to compete with that. You're paying for a quality product, a product that requires a ton of labor, but it's definitely worth it. And I digress. Let's get back to the sheet. This gives you a good, accurate representation of what you're going to make and what it's going to cost. And with any business enterprise, that's two of the main things you need to know, because you don't want to throw a lot of money at something only to realize after you've done all that you're not going to make that money back, or you're not going to make anywhere near as much as you expected. This will get you in the ballpark. If you have questions about this, let me know. How can you get this calculator? Well, the big thing is we're starting a newsletter. You guys have seen my YouTube videos. I show a lot of stuff. I try to share everything that's going on here on the farm, what I've learned, what I've messed up on. But there's things that I just don't have time to make videos for. There's some things I don't want to make videos for because YouTube will penalize you for it. Therefore, we now have a newsletter at the Part-Time Farmer. This is a newsletter. Will go out about every 2 weeks. No spam. Basically just sharing what's going on here on the farm, stuff that I haven't talked about in videos, web resources that I found that may help you on your farm. And to get this calculator, it's free. Just sign up for the newsletter. That's it. That'll take you to a page where you click on it and you'll get your free calculator. And I hope this calculator helps you. It's definitely helped us. If you decide you don't want to stay with the newsletter, no worries. There's an unsubscribe button with the initial newsletter that you'll get. Just unsubscribe at any time. This doesn't cost anything. And I'll be completely transparent with you. When you're doing stuff online and building things, say the Part-Time Farmer that we're doing here, I'm building it on YouTube, and I don't own YouTube. YouTube owns YouTube, and at any time they could ban me. I could be gone, just because their algorithm or computers don't recognize something, or for whatever reason. Most of us that do online stuff tend to try to start a newsletter so that if anything ever happens, obviously we have a newsletter that is mine. I can't be banned for my newsletter. And having a newsletter just allows me to share anything that I want to share without worrying about any repercussions from the platforms that I'm putting these things on. It's like the analogy of building a house on land you don't own. What I'm trying to make here is a group of farmers, homesteaders, and people that just love farming, want to share how they're doing it, share secrets, share tips, and I want to make sure that that's protected. So a newsletter allows me to do that. It allows me to send you free things that I found and share basically our experiences on the farm, again, without worrying about repercussions. Again, no spam, I promise, and you can unsubscribe at any time. I hope you'll join our farm family. And lastly, I just want to mention we also have a Discord. Again, that's free. It's hard to communicate on YouTube through comments. It's a place, basically a forum, and I've got a number of categories in there, from homesteading to farming to different species of animals to even jokes to off-farming stuff. You jump into whatever forum you want and we can chat. This gives me a chance where, we're busy on the farm a lot of the day, just like you guys, where I can pop into the Discord at night and answer questions. I can ask questions, maybe you can answer. And it's just a way to, again, be more part of a community. I think that's something that's lost in some of these homesteading, farming forums, is that we isolate and we just want to do things ourselves and grow for ourselves. But I think community is important. I think we need to rely on each other sometimes to learn things, to ask for help. I recently learned that in my last video with our hay baler breaking. So Discord is a place where hopefully I can build that community, that we can rely on each other, offer each other resources, tips, share stories, and I hope you'll be a part of it. With the link below to the newsletter, there's also a link to join Discord, and I hope to see you in there. And if you want to know about another free spreadsheet we have, watch this video here about how we manage our frozen inventory, and this also includes another free spreadsheet.